To begin, look for some magazines, anyone that will do with some great images. You could also look for photographs. You could look for newspaper pictures. You could also print out a picture. I then ripped out a few different images that I might like to use. The more the merrier. I can decide what I want to do with them. You can just rip them out, and have them ready to go. Once you have chosen a picture, what I want you to do is cut out any extra text, or I have the shredded edge from ripping it off the cover, so that I am left with just my photo. And I may have to cut it down smaller to make it fit on my paper. We shall see. Next, gather a piece of white drawing paper out of your kit. I'm also hoping you're going to have some sort of glue. I've got a glue stick that I'm going to use. I am also going to need a pencil and an eraser for the first step as well. And keep those scissors handy. We may need them to trim down the photo that you just cut. I have some decisions to make. I want to glue down my image so that I have ample room to now draw on top of the white piece of paper and the image that I found. So I can play around with it facing either direction and filling the paper. I think I am going to go this direction so I have more room on white on the sides. Some of this empty white space might be available for drawing. Some of the image that is on our photo may come off and also engage with the paper as well. I'm going to simply glue my photo down. I suggest gluing your photo down and letting it dry overnight and coming back to it the next day or even a following day to draw on top of it. The glue is going to make your paper, both the photograph and the white paper that you're gluing on top of, a little bit more damp from the glue and more soft. So it might be a little bit hard to draw on it, or you might have the possibility of ripping through your drawing. So I'm just gluing it down. I'm pressing to make sure it's stuck down. And again, if I have the time to let it sit, what I'm going to do is get something heavy, like another book. I've got my binder sitting here. So I'm going to place my binder on top and a few of my magazines just to add some weight. And I'm going to let those sit overnight so that my photograph magazine picture glues securely and dries to the paper before I begin the next step of drawing on top. My photo has glued overnight. It is now glued down to the white drawing paper, or again, you could use a colored construction paper instead of a white piece of paper. So now I am ready to draw. I decided to look for a little inspiration for something to draw. So I looked up monsters on the internet and Googled it, and I found this little cartoon that is going to lead me to some inspiration for drawing on top of this photograph. I'm going to draw with a pencil before I use anything else, just in case I make any mistakes in what I'm drawing, or if I want to make any guidelines that I'd like to erase, so that I can then go in with my eraser and get rid of something that I do not want. Once you've drawn your illustration in pencil on your photo, I would like you to use Sharpies or another black marker of the sort to trace over your drawing so that you can see it much more boldly on top of the photo. Once you have finished with your black Sharpie, I would love for you to take your eraser and go over your drawing and get rid of any pencil marks that might not have gotten traced properly. Once you have erased everything, you may be done here, leaving your illustration black and white, or you may go in with limited color. I think I'm going to add some color simply in the flames and leave my monster alone.